So today's video is gonna be a little interesting. This is a 1991 Jeep Wrangler Renegade Edition YJ. How can you tell it's a YJ? Well, it has those famous square headlights. Now, there are two schools of thought when you talk about the YJ. Number one is the, you have a YJ? You should cherish it. And then the second school of thought, which has never directly been told to me, but I've overheard it at car meets where I've brought this going, this kid thinks he actually has a Jeep? Like he thinks that's a Jeep? So, on contrary to both these schools of thought, this is a beater. I beat on this Jeep, okay? This is not supposed to be like anything I care about. We paid under $3 grand for the thing and it came with a plow, okay? This is to get around in winter. There's many problems with it, there's many issues with it, but I still love it. Now, I bet that some of you thought immediately, isn't that the Wrangler with the engine? And yes, it is the Wrangler with that engine. This is the bulletproof inline six, and it's, you know, not pretty, it's not fast, but that's not what matters. That engine is unkillable. That engine won't die. It won't. You could put maple syrup in as oil, and I bet you that engine would run 1,000 miles. I am dead serious. That engine is perfect. It runs mint. It runs day one mint, and it has 160,000 miles on it, and I beat on this Jeep. Being a 1991 Jeep, that makes it 4 years older than I am. This Jeep became 25 years old. So, that means that there's a few strange things that go on in this Jeep. Now, I hate to sound like Doug DeMuro, but here are all the strange quirks of my 1991 Jeep Wrangler. There are many. Now don't worry guys, in order to show you most of the quirks, the Jeep actually needs to be on. But let's start on the outside. So say you're a passenger, how do you get into the Jeep? You don't. Now it is possible to get a passenger into the Jeep. This is what I have to do. I open the driver door, and then I open the passenger door. Now, that's not supposed to happen. Also, this is your seatbelt. Looks normal until you see this. Yes, it's not connected to anything, and you don't have an airbag. So, being a passenger in this Jeep is a lot like Fear Factor. Something as simple as starting the Jeep isn't normal either. So, this is how you start the Jeep. As you can see, it's not starting. What you have to do is you have to go down here and press this button. And no, you don't have to hold the clutch in. Now, the first thing you may notice is that this Jeep is very loud. Very loud. You know, the cabin isn't very tight. It makes a lot of noise. It's not very luxury. So if that's not your thing, probably shouldn't get a YJ. Now let's talk about the gauges. We have the battery, we have the oil, we have the clock that doesn't work, so I set it to 420 because it's always time to blaze it. We have the gas gauge that works above half a tank and does nothing after half a tank. And the temperature gauge that goes whack sometimes, but usually stays at 200. Now, these don't light up at night. They did for a week when we had the Jeep, and then it, for whatever reason, stopped. So we installed a new system. They're called very flashy blue LEDs. And yes, they are extremely distracting at night. The windshield wipers are a weird one because when I turn them off, that's where they stop, right here. They stop like this from the factory. That's how it was designed. The middle console, you know, not pretty, but it is usable. You have plenty of space there, and for whatever reason, there's no cover on the back, even though there's a cover right here, so it doesn't make any sense. But the middle console is also completely removable. You could just take it out if you want. For whatever reason, the shift knob is never straight. And what I mean is that the gears that are pictured are never straight on like they should be. For whatever reason, fully tightening the knob puts them sideways like this. And for our driving journey, I have chosen to bring this to the car wash. As you saw, it is absolutely filthy. So it is time to wash all the winter grime off of it. The first thing I'd like to mention is that this is a four-wheel drive vehicle, and it's actually right down here. I don't have to go outside and do anything and twist things. It just works. And actually, for being a 91, it works very well. Now, here's the thing though. Right now, I'm in rear-wheel drive on slight snow, and this is what happens. I slide. I have to be in four-wheel for snow, and then it turns into an animal. You may have noticed that this Jeep is a manual transmission, and actually, it is a very good manual transmission. If I had to pick a transmission to learn on, I would actually learn on this. Besides the fact that the Jeep is a scary death trap, the transmission is like butter. It's very forgiving and very easy to use. Now, right now, I'm on the highway. Notice how I am yelling so that you can hear me. The Jeep, like I said earlier, is not very quiet. I'm only going 60 miles per hour, and this is the noise that I have to deal with on a daily basis. Now, there's a specific reason I brought it to a car wash. I just want to show off like some of the rust and everything like that. And let's see how tight this cabin actually is. Let's see. Oh, yeah! Bring it back here. Oh, that's actually amazing. That's actually amazing. You know, I bet you thought after I washed it, it wouldn't look any different, but surprise, it's actually pretty nice looking. And that's why I really do love it, even though I beat the crap out of it. I'm not embarrassed to be seen in it, you know? It's got rust in a few places, like here and there, and a lot over here, and one on the door handle, and by one I mean like the whole door handle is one rust thing here, there, whatever that is. But besides all that rust, it looks very good, and I definitely do see why people like Jeeps. There's also one more reason why people like Jeeps. People buy Jeeps because Jeeps are fun.